Thank you very much, Presiding Officer. I think I've lost count of the number of questions, statements and debates on the A9 over many years in this chamber, and Mr Simpson gave us a rather amusing potted ministerial history at the beginning of the debate. But, you know, I respect the fact that the Scottish Government remains committed to seeing the A9 dualling project through to the end. But the reality here is that there are challenges and pressures on priorities and budgets, and they are growing, and they won't be going away anytime soon. If it's very brief, Mr Bibby.
Neil Bibby.
Thank Mr Ruskell for taking away. The Scottish Government have said they are committed to dualling the A9. Are the Scottish Greens fully committed to dualling the A9?
Mark Ruskell.
Well, I would simply say to Mr Bibby that he needs to read the Butte House Agreement. I think it's quite clear about the commitments that are there on the A9 and also the commitments that are in the A96 as well. The latest estimate has every single mile of the A9 dualling project costing between £19 and £23 million just for construction, not including management of the project or even buying the land. It is an eye-watering amount of money. So the biggest challenge to dualling every single last inch of the A9 doesn't come from green arguments. It's the financial reality that this government faces. Now, some governments, most notably the Welsh Labour government, Mr Bibby, are starting to make difficult choices. They're listening to their Future Generations Commission and the Infrastructure Commission. They're abandoning vast road building programmes, and they're investing in other transport priorities that benefit people and the climate. And when I think of the transport challenges in the Highlands and Islands and the very real need for investment, I think of ferries and harbour infrastructure and fixed links. I think of the need to keep lifeline roads open, such as the Rest and Be Thankful. I think of the desperate need to dual the Highland Main Line, the investment needed in rail freight to get timber lorries off the roads. I think of safety issues that we have on roads such as the A85, which can never ever be dualled. And I wonder what a further £1,400 million would deliver for all of those communities. Now, for the A9, we need absolutely to see improvements. The status quo won't do. But safety improvements must come first. And the recent tragic spate of fatal accidents on the A9 have been for a range of reasons. And while dualling may have helped prevent some of them, we have also seen fatalities on recently dualled sections of the road as well. Dualling the A9 was never primarily a road safety project. But if we want to maximise the number of lives saved and accidents avoided across the whole of Scotland's road network, including the A9, then we need to invest carefully in the right measures. Sections of the A9 dualling will still need to be completed, but investment shouldn't stop there. And that's why, I'm saddened to see Liam Kerr, for example, campaigning against speed cameras on the A96, because they are a cost-effective way to save lives. Although, I do credit his colleague Finlay Carson, who is campaigning to see them introduced on the A75. Now, I've met with a number of constituents about A9 improvements, including the Burnham and Dunkeld Junctions Action Group, and I think their calls for safety improvements are important, and progress must be seen before the next surge in visitor numbers at the start of the new season. And I warmly welcome the fact that our Minister, Jenny Gilruth, has moved quickly and decisively on a package that will improve driver safety. Haven't got time, focusing first on the Burnham to Dalguise section. The Action Group have also raised the need for the speed limit to reduce to 50 miles an hour between Burnham and Dunkeld, better lighting at junctions, monitoring cameras and a roundabout at Dunkeld as well. So I would urge the Minister in closing to double down on these suggestions from my Perthshire constituents, to continue investment in the A9, but invest wisely based on where we are now and what the future looks like.